So welcome to this eXp Global webinar. I'm so happy to have anybody on here listening. And if you're listening to the replay, we're so glad to have you listening to that. My name is Renee Ruth. I am a realtor here in the state of Virginia in the United States. And for those around the world, I am on the East Coast of the country. And I've been a realtor I'm going into my 7th year of real estate. 8th year of real estate, because it's my 6th year in eXp. And this is my 3rd company that I joined, and I picked this company very specifically for a number of things I'm going to highlight in our webinar today. But I wanted to kind of give you some background on me first so you could kind of understand my journey and then understand how this company kind of fit into my journey. When I first started real estate, the company I was working with was offering a very competitive, for a new agent, very competitive 75-25 split. And for a year and a half, I worked at that split, and the company provided some coaching. It was a traditional brokerage, brick and mortar. They had us come in for meetings, and there was, some contract stuff they went over, but that was about it. And then for the 25% I gave the company, what I got back was a desk I could work at, and that was it. And there was no leads that I got. And it was crazy because I also had to pay monthly to market his company, not with my name. So I had additional fees monthly for marketing for his company. So needless to say, I was dissatisfied. For 25% of every one of the deals I was doing on my back, on the labor of me building the relationship, me doing all of the legwork, and then him just collecting money at the end. As a new agent, and having worked in other fields, that didn't make sense to me. I was like, that's a lot of money for them to take for very little. We're really quickly becoming a culture of value. Everyone wants to know the value you bring, why you want a piece of their money. So at the time, the value for me in that brokerage did not make sense. So I went to another brokerage, and they were 90-10 split. And at 90% commission is what I took home. And that, to me, I was like, I can be happy with this. 10% to them. For the 10%, I got nothing. There was no desk, there was no admin, there was nothing. And I had my first $1 million month, meaning I sold 1 million in homes and had my first 30K month in commissions. And that $3,000 he took that month, as little as that might seem, I was once again unhappy. Because he wasn't doing it. What are you doing for $3,000? Nothing. So I started to look again. And this time I went to every single agent, or broker, I should say, that would speak to me. And I asked what they offer agents who join their brokerage. And I essentially interviewed all the brokerages in my area. And that same summer, I had run into friends of mine that had worked at Starbucks. So from 1999 till probably the late 2000s, they had worked for Starbucks, and then they went off and did other careers. But while they worked for Starbucks had just become publicly traded on the NASDAQ. So if you don't know what the NASDAQ is, NASDAQ, if you're in another country, Google it. But it is the powerhouse of investing here in the United States. It's our stock market. The whole country's economy rises and falls on it. And so when Starbucks was on the NASDAQ, they offered their employees stock. So you were, as an employee, able to collect stock from your paycheck at a discount and purchase other stock if you wanted, and earn stock in the company. At the time, had I knew then what I know now, I would have taken the money I bought coffee with and bought Starbucks stock instead. My friends, when we met, and this was just about over 5 years ago, they were individually millionaires from the 7 to 10 years they gave Starbucks because of the stock that they got from Starbucks. When I was introduced that summer into all the brokerages, eXp was the only company that was publicly traded on the NASDAQ, was debt-free, literally in the black, owes nobody, completing mergers and acquisitions, buying Fortune 500 companies, and launching at the time into multiple countries, which is now totaling 24 countries. So when you are thinking of investing in a company, this company, even if you've never joined eXp, if you're stateside listening, this is a company that even Forbes said is one of the ones you should be investing in. So I missed the Starbucks train. I was never going to make millions off of Starbucks stock. That ship had sailed. But this company was just recently on the NASDAQ, 2017 actually, and they're planning to launch into every country in the world. So the growth trajectory is identical to what Starbucks has done. So I saw what could be in 10, 15, 20 years if I started with this company, started closing deals with this company, and instead of my friends earning $200 to $300 a week and collecting Starbucks stock, we're closing, $2, $3, $5, $10, $15,000 deals, and we can take a percentage of that. The company will purchase stock in our name at a discount on our behalf. And if you're smart, you would let that stock sit like my friends did, because there will be your retirement down the road. God forbid anything crazy happens. So that was how I found eXp, and that was my reason for coming over to the company, because as agents, we live transaction to transaction. We are deal to deal and paycheck to paycheck, unless you are building yourself other additional streams of incomes. And most brokerages are not concerned about what you're doing to set your future up for yourself. This company is. So let me jump in to why I agree with the statement that this is one of the largest, best virtual brokerages in the world. And when we're done, if you have questions, let me know. And if not, I can send you a copy of this, or also a copy of it in your country specifically. So as I said, this will be just for global. But all right, scrolling to the next one. How do I get to the next? I'm sorry, you guys. How do I get to the next? Oh, my bad. Hold on. Okay. So we are entirely cloud-based. It is the first company that I know of that has gone entirely virtual. We do have offices. There are offices, but the company itself does not hold them. What we do instead is we work in the metaverse, and I'll show you what that looks like on another slide. We believe strongly in leadership and coaching. I mentioned earlier, my first company sat down and went over contracts with me for a minute one day, but this is an immersive, fully, like, you are surrounded by 90,000 agents, the best of whom are going to be coaching and teaching you. I apologize for my dog working from home, the joys. And then we have very competitive compensation. So when we get to the compensation, I'll share what that is. Globally, most of the world is about the same. The US is different. And we also have, as I said, the revenue share, which we'll talk about, and then the equity stock, which was the story that brought me into this company originally. So you can do this anywhere. This is what's amazing, is that for the first time ever, because you're virtual, you can work anywhere. So no matter what part of the world you're in, you have 24 countries you can co-broker in. I'll give you an example. My teeny tiny town of 80,000 agents, I met a guy that spent 10 years of his life in Greece, and he wanted a summer home there. And I said, I can help you do that. He's like, seriously? I said, yeah. And I connected him with an eXp agent in Greece. We signed a virtual document agreeing on compensation. He was released. The information for my client was released to that agent. And then when he closes on a property in Greece, I will get paid the same day he gets paid. So it opens the door, because it's virtual, to do business beyond the borders of where you currently work. So what does it mean for you? It means the sky's the limit. This is literally what I tell every agent that comes in. I'm like, if you can dream it in this company and it's legal in your country, you can do it. It is the first company that I've ever found where they're open to ideas. All options are on the table. Growth trajectory is endless. The sky is the limit. You are able to build your own brand, your own company. I mentioned when I started that most of the business that we do is because people know, I'm so sorry. People know, like, and trust us. Not because of the company we work with 9 times out of 10. So this company wants you to use the platform to brand yourself, build the business for yourself. You get to build a community. I currently work with 31 agents in 5 countries that represent 6 nationalities. It's amazing. And it can grow indefinitely and expand indefinitely. Again, if you can see it, you can do it. And it's innovative. We're always cutting edge. We actually purchased Verbella, which is the company that created our metaverse. I'll show you that in a minute. And they are creating metaverses now for Johnson & Johnson and major corporations, because these companies are realizing increasingly the collaborative space is virtual. And then you can find financial freedom. So, and I'll share another story about that, about how to build financial freedom for yourself, where living transaction to transaction will never do that for you unless you're being super smart about every commission check that comes through. Or you could, turn commission checks into shameless travel fund and build financial wealth in other ways. Here's our growth trajectory. I mentioned before, there are 90,000 agents in this company, which is a great leveraging tool when you go to work with clients, because you can say, I work in a brokerage that is not franchised. It's 90,000 agents that collaborate together. It's the truth. We all work on a licensed platform. We licensed the Facebook platform and we called it Workplace. Looks just like Facebook. And we all collaborate there. Groups and workplace chat and it's just like Messenger, and it's a phenomenal, like I can get a hold of my broker just sending a message there in real time. Don't even have to get into an office, schedule an appointment, none of that, real time. We are in, as I said earlier, 24 countries and planning to continue to launch. The last country we launched in was Dubai. They're currently at 40 or 50 agents so far in their first year, which isn't bad. And we plan to do 181 countries in the future. So the goal is to build teams across borders and to host, just literally to imagine if your market slows in a particular season, that you have the opportunity to work alongside agents in markets that are not slow. Like right now in Australia, in Sydney, they don't have a slow market. They're just flying. So you could team up with somebody in Australia, or if you build agents in Australia, and you can actually build a business down there and never, ever set foot there. In fact, most of the companies we launched during the pandemic without even setting foot in the country. It's wild. I'm going to send this to you. You can read the quotes from the brokers, but here is what our virtual metaverse looks like. You would create an avatar and you go in here. We host weekly seminars, webinars. There's broker offices. So instead of walking to a physical office, you walk into a virtual broker office and you can set up appointments or show up. Tech support's in here, transaction support's in here. I mean, when I did my taxes, I rolled into the accounting office and within seconds had everything that I needed. I mean, it's truly the future of real estate. We, as a company, give you many opportunities for branding. So you can choose to brand yourself. And I did that. So I branded Renee Ruth because I'd built a name for myself here. And then I just attached kind of the logo they provided onto all my documents to show I'm brokered by. Around the world, you could choose to brand eXp if you wanted to, or you could brand yourself, but everything's provided for you. You have a brand folder. You're going to have a state-of-the-art CRM. I'll go over a little more of that. You're going to have, coming soon will be eXp solutions. In some countries, we're teaming up with the lawyers, and so you have you think of a tool belt to offer your clients. These are the people that we have vetted and we're partnered with. eXp has a lot on the line, you guys. To be publicly traded on the NASDAQ, you have to play by all the rules. You have to be above board, because we could lose that status if we did anything that wasn't acceptable. So I love that, which means everyone's treated fairly, everyone's treated the same, and they don't put up with any kind of garbage. And so that allows us to build a very strong name because of that. And it will grow globally. Watch. Here is what the CRM looks like in a lot of countries. What it does essentially, if you've never used a CRM before, or if you have, here in the United States, it's KV Core. In South Africa, I'm trying to remember what Noni said she uses, but it allows you to follow your business, do prospecting and lead tracking. I get leads through KV Core, through our CRM. You can create brochures and emails. There's templates in there, calendars and tasks. You can actually do open houses, virtual open houses through them to pass out to your network. So you're going to collect, the idea is to collect emails, right? And to create an automation for yourself so that your business is automated. As you meet people, get names and numbers and put them into a CRM that's working for you behind the scenes, right? And that's all provided. That automation is all provided for you, which is phenomenal. You also are going to be able to have access to university training in each of your countries. They take it very seriously, their agents and the quality of agents. In fact, the US is just going through a huge shift after a major lawsuit got settled, and eXp has been at the front of this for their agents on every single turn, creating documents for the company that keep everything above board. They're doing constant meetings, updates. In fact, they're actually coming to each city in the US to go over what this means, what this lawsuit means, and how we can as agents thrive, as we move through these new changes. So the same is true. They're doing it in South Africa. They're doing it in Greece. They're very because of our status on the NASDAQ, they are very passionate about making sure we are equipped with everything that is above, that we're following the rules and that we're being met with our needs to thrive in our business. You get 30 hours of weekly training as well. And plus, I will also coach. I coach every Monday. I do mindset and motivation. It's a really amazing group that gets together on Monday. We share our wins. We share prospecting ideas. We just collaborate at the beginning of the week to kind of set the pace for the week with ourselves. So it's just a fun network. Let me come back to that. So first, here's what the split is. In South Africa, it's 75-25. In the US, it's 80-20. So you will take home the bigger number. So in South Africa, you take home 75%. 25% would go to the company. That's actually true of all of Europe, Australia, just about everywhere except the United States and Canada, I think. So when that 25% in each country totals a certain amount, here in the US, it's $16,000. When it totals an amount, I think it's 150,000 Rand in South Africa. Maybe it's 100,000 Rand. When it totals that, you are 100% commission for the remainder of your year. So there's a goal. You guys, I did more business in this company because they set these goals for us than I did in any other company before. Because every other company, I was just selling houses. I was just to get a check. That's all I was doing. Now I had a goal. I said, hey, here's 12 months of your year. And if you can achieve these things, these are your rewards. So one was hitting 100% commission. I'd never had that before. So that was my first goal. Then if you sell so much after that, it's called Icon. I'll show it to you after. You will get that 25%. You can earn that back in stock. Now remember, stock was my motivator when I came over because I'm like, that's going to be my retirement. That's going to be me buying my house on the beach. Like I'm thinking about this $1 million in the future. That could be more than $1 million. Because we make more than Starbucks workers. So I had visions, right? So I was like, oh, I am getting that broker commission back. And I've done that for the last 6 years and can teach you how to do the same if you want. So the company's like, we're here. Here's your options. Here's what you can do. Do whatever you want to do. We're here to support. So there is a startup fee because they have to brand you and build you into the system. So there's a tech startup fee that includes the first month fee. And then we do have a monthly cloud brokerage fee. Each country covers many, many, many things. And in those items, if you were to pay for them on your own, they would be significantly more money. And if you look at what the broker you're with now is paying for them and what you're paying the broker, you're going to come away with so much more money with us than you will with what that broker is paying. We can talk numbers. So here's the additional stream of income through stock. And I said you get if they will gift you after your first transaction, you'll be gifted stock. When you cap, you'll be gifted stock. And then if you bring another agent into the company and they sell their first deal, you're gifted stock. So they're gifting stock. Then you have the equity program. And I strongly suggest if you're listening to this and you've not yet done it and you're in the company, email your broker team and sign up for this. You need to sign up for the Agent Equity Commissions program. This is the program that I was sharing about Starbucks that my friends were in, whereby you voluntarily enroll to take 5% of your commission and purchase company stock at 5% off. When you do that money, so I don't even see that commission. It's purchased before they pay me. And I've done that for the last 6 years now, every deal. So I have thousands of stock. And I'm continuing to collect. And I know I'm so excited about that future. So the last thing is that icon I shared that I've done 6 times. And when you icon, again, you can get earn the broker paid commission back in company stock. I don't know another brokerage on the planet that is willing to give you a piece of the broker paid commission back for anything. When they take that broker commission, 50%, 20%, 30%, whatever it is, they're keeping it. This is the only company I know of that will give it back. In fact, I'm going to share the next thing with you. They give 50% of their broker paid commissions back to the agents in the company every single year. That's amazing. It's huge because we're virtual. They have the opportunity to do that. And here's one of the ways that they do it. So here's the third stream of income that I did not find great value in when I first joined the company and that I'm really enjoying now because I see the value of this company. It's just so easy for me to tell people how incredible it is. that they have basically what it's called revenue share. And it's almost like a referral program inside the company. So let's say you knew an agent. For example, when I was looking at eXp, I had two friends that were realtors. And I went to them and I said, hey, I was just told about this company. Here's kind of the rough of what's going on with it. Here's what they offer. And both of those agents looked at me and they were like, Renee, it's a no-brainer. I want to sign up. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let me join first. And then you can sign up after me, right? And they're like, oh yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So when I came over, I brought two agents over with me. And it was me truly just vetting out the company with someone else who had no reason to think it was worth anything. So when 2 or 3 months later, I get this email from eXp and they're like, we've deposited $800 into your bank account. And I was like, for what? Like I literally emailed them back and I said, why are you giving me $800? Those agents that I had introduced had closed, and that was a piece of the broker's commission that they were gifting back to me for referring them to the company. And even when that happened, I still didn't catch the power of that until I met a man named Brent Gove who saw this screen of the company I'm showing you. And when he joined, we joined the same year, he and I. When he joined, he sold houses, but he focused on recruiting. He said he was meeting agents every morning between 6 and 8 a.m. because successful agents are very busy and are not going to listen to you much past 8. So he met every morning 6 to 8, and he recruited 25 in his first 3 months. And then he introduced 100 by his first year. And then 4 years later, when I met him, he had an organization of over 3,500 and he was making $800,000 a month from the company. That was the broker referral fee total for him because he introduced people to the company. I fell out of my chair. I had hit the top of the company for sales all those years. I was an icon agent all those years. I had sold more houses than I could even remember, but I did not have that kind of residual income. And that's when I saw the power of what this company had done for its agents to empower them by saying, look, you are our best chance at growing this business because you're in this and you love this. And if you share this, we will give you a piece of our broker pay commissions. As long as you're in the company, as long as they're in the company, and as long as they're paying us. When the agent goes 100% commission, everybody else gets nothing. It's all the agents. I think the model's genius, and it's how this company scaled to 90,000 agents so quickly. I'm skipping. I'm going to send this to you guys in the future. So they also really big on culture. I'm really big on culture. The agents that have joined underneath me, we build a community of support and networking that is in addition to what the company offers. So there's just live on-demand training about everything. You need to know about recruiting. You need to know about lead generation. What do you need to know? There is a training you can go to. There's 100 people you could talk to. They have masterminds. We do networking collaborations. I know they do roadshows in South Africa. They do, company tours in Europe. Here we do, events in every state. And then we have eXp Con, which I'm going to this year in Miami, that is open agent wide. And it's just like a big agent throwdown. I'm not a big rah-rah girl, but I love to go down to network and meet agents. It's so inspiring. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of the company in like really big whole, a little bow on top of it. I'm going to wrap it up and show you the man who started it all. And the reason I want you to meet him is because he's an agent. He was working for Keller Williams. He built himself up starting at, nothing to having a team that was selling multi-millions a year at Keller. And when the economy crashed in 2007 and 8, in 2009, he saw that as an opportunity, not as something that was going to destroy him. And he built eXp from the things that he was wishing KW offered their agents and created this entire network. And currently now, as of 2017, when we went public, he's no longer the owner, but he's the CEO because the company is owned by all the agents in the company. So you get to be part owner of eXp, which I also absolutely loved. So that is eXp. Glenn Sanford is the man that started the business. And I'm going to pull you all back to this little chat box. If you have any questions, you guys, let me know. Regardless, thank you so much for jumping in. I will reach out to you all on WhatsApp or text. I can send you kind of the summary for your country. Or if someone else invited you to this or invited you to a replay, reach back out to them and get the doc from them, and they'd be more than happy to assist you in whatever steps or questions you might have about how this company can work for you and help you build your brand and your business. So thank you so much for listening.